We are live. Hi. Good day, good evening, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Let's see. The stream has started and we're setting our timer for 30 minutes. This is going to be the latest in our experiments. Let's call it an experiment, right? Of trying to create some type of an online presence and online business, right? And the thinking goes that we have a vision, we have an idea, we know roughly where we want to go, okay? Far away from there. And we resign ourselves to the fact that it is going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a long time. It's not one of those things that will happen overnight. And so you need to show up on a consistent, regular, preferably daily basis. But you also, and as much as I want this to be the big thing, eventually, it is unfeasible for me to invest all of my waking hours or time into this right now. Unfortunately, because we're still in, I'll get to that later. And so, therefore, the 30-minute timer, right? Where what is the lowest effort or lowest, not necessarily lowest effort, but what would be feasible for me to do that I can squeeze in, no matter how busy I am in a normal day, that would at least move the needle somewhat forward in the direction of having an online income, right? So that's it. That's it right here. I think YouTube is part of it. Like fundamentally, what you need is the long-term goal somewhere, as fundamentally as possible, is that we want to generate an income. We want to generate money or revenue, and that money has to come from external sources, from outside. No point giving yourself money. Like that doesn't make any sense. And so you need to make people aware that you exist, right? And that's what social media platforms are for, to a degree. And then we'll figure out eventually as we go along with how we monetize or what we even monetize. It's been so many courses and cohorts and events and gurus, people ahead of me, whose footsteps I want to follow in to some degree, that all of them say that you need to niche down. You need to start small. Okay. Most of them, at least. But I also feel like, well, don't we need to do something that we can stick to for a long time? And right now I'm just thinking out loud. Not that I haven't been consumed by this for quite some time. But the thing that is taking the most of my time right now is university, right? If everything goes according to plan with the exams and whatnot for the coming time, I will graduate with I don't know how to say it in English, like bachelor in mechanical engineering and a master in supply chain and logistics by this summer. Okay, cool. longer story than what I'm gonna go into here, but not really something that I am super stoked about spending the rest of my life doing. You want to make it big, right? Let's start off with like just acknowledging that we do want to. It would be a dream come true to have more money in the bank than you know what to do with. Right? And if you don't feel that way, then I'm pretty sure that you're lying to yourself. But maybe your goals are different. Hey, who am I to judge? You know what? Let's take that back. But in order for me to get to that point, to have my degree, which would help me stay afloat, it would extend the launch pad for the online business cohort, whatever thing. But since this is something that we are planning on, the goal is way over there. If we extend that time horizon by half a year or a year or 2 years to make it more sustainable, I guess, where we're not completely giving up on this other big thing, which would bring us to a reality and existence that would be more amenable. Is that a word? I think that works, right? Okay. And so 30-minute timer, we're live streaming and we're doing it unscripted. We're not using, I wish I could. I mean, technically I could, but no, I'm not gonna move the laptop. You're staying right there. I do have a freaking teleprompter, which is gonna be part of the YouTube strategy, but I feel like first we need to figure out what we can help people with. And then what other things is going to be part of this? Well, I have spent a lot of my time on school, dabbling back and forth, paying for communities and memberships and courses, not really putting much of it into practice. And so that will be the second layer, I guess. If YouTube and all of the other social media platforms are available to anybody, and even including people who are just window shopping, let's call it that. Layer 2, where people actually show that, you know what, this guy makes some sense. Let's see where this ends up. That would be school, right? Okay, yes, let's go with that. And then layer 3, I guess, would be the monetization step, which would be, I think, as far as I can reach right now, coaching, courses, cohorts, challenges. We'll figure that out as we get there. But this is what I can see as I am right now, the smallest thing that I can do, that I can feasibly, with some challenge, do on a daily basis and stay regular with. And if I keep doing this, it is unreasonable that I wouldn't see some traction. Maybe, obviously, the more you do, the better it goes, or the quicker you see results. But based on that we are in our final stretch of university, that is the big goal. And so we're showing up and we're doing this, and we have let's see, where is that? Oh, it was so long ago since I used this program. Starting soon, intermission, retina screen, external display. No, that's not it. Retina screen. This just goes on for infinity. Oh, Dell, No. Video capture device? No. Okay, these are the sources. External display should not be the... There you go. Okay, I got it. I got it. There it is. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's go. We can change that later. So how are these 30-minute sessions going to look? Like, generally, what is the... Do we have any sort of step-by-step list that we can do? And if we know that YouTube is part of the equation, okay, check. This is the live stream. This is the bare minimum. I should add a number. You know what? We'll do that later. To this. Step 2 would be do school, right? Grow on school. Okay, man, this feels so weird at the start because, again, I know where we want to go, which is just helping people in exchange for money, solving problem, offering services. But I don't know how to niche that down any more than I guess I'm scared of niching down in a sense. Well, we'll get to that. So the group right now that I have on school is called placeholder number, because I was like, you know what, we're just gonna this is gonna change eventually, right? And so what we're gonna make as a to do for ourselves. Let's go ahead and write that down. If you don't have a physical notebook, then I don't know how you keep track of everything, but especially having, like, the most valuable thing with having this is to have conversations with yourself, but also to remember things. Let's see. What we're gonna write down? We were talking about URL, school. Oh wow. Well, that's embarrassing. And it's not the 7th, it's the 8th today. That was it. I was gonna add my link. Add school link to bios. Perfect. Okay. Now, the reason I'm choosing school is, one, the person that I would like to, one of the big people that I look up to the most is Alex Hormozy. And he endorses school. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's go with that. Let's not think about it too much. It was Eman who was promoting WAP, but that feels a lot more scammy. I'm not gonna say scammy, but yeah, a little scammy. And school has this thing where you it shows your activity level, and in order to get the highest level you need to do 10 plus activities. Okay, so as a starting point, in order to grow on school, let's just get these 10 activities going. And you can do this through multiple ways. Contributes to a chart includes liking polls, writing polls, commenting, and voting on polls. And you want to, like, the highest value thing that would be most traceable back to you would be writing posts, commenting on posts, and then voting on polls and liking polls is like, it doesn't really give any possibility of making anything throw ripples on the water. Let's put it like that. And that somehow or in one way is sort of the goal. And we're part of a couple groups. This one I joined just a couple days ago. I haven't checked it out at all, but AI seems like a fun thing that we could explore and go into. Schoolers it's free, by the way, so no point in not joining it. There's a better, like, more high tiered one called Maker School, which won the school games last period. But we're trying to keep this as lean as possible as it is right now. So let's slow that down. We have Schoolers, which is for everybody who has their own community. Let's try and hold on. Let's back this up. I hate it when you have too many tabs open. There you go. Let me open you in a new. Then we have Hamza's educational content creators. He recommends when you're starting out to. This is a paid group. I don't think I'm going to keep this one going because I have so much resources and information that is freely available, mainly through Synthesizer, I would say. This is again as bare bone. No matter what you niche down to, if you have the ambition of creating courses or content, or I think coaching as well online, then this is just a pretty straightforward way. And it's not like it's just one way that works. There's multiple. So we're gonna prioritize Schoolers, Synthesizer. I'm also working part-time in sales in a very big company in Sweden, which that's a very fun one. And this one, sales.io, was oh man, now I've forgotten what they're called. JJ, he did it with another guy for a while ago. But this is high level sales, basically, high ticket sales, and it's quite a cool group. Let's see, I got it at a discount. I'm not gonna show that right now because it is already only 12 minutes left of this, and we need to get ourselves going. So how do we do this? How do we like this first? I would be so impressed if people actually looked at this, because this is, I'm not gonna say selfish, but this is very much like starting blocks. Like, I'm gonna be stumbling and not be scripted and not have a clear game plan and not even know what I'm going to be focusing on, and just the fundamental advice that I'm trying to take in to myself and remind myself and keep in the back of my head all the time is you just show up. You keep on showing up and you keep on doing this, and that is what we're doing. Okay. I feel like the ones that are more valuable are not the ones that have 200 plus comments, but closer to like smaller amounts, because then you have a higher likelihood of getting noticed, right? Okay, and now let's go ahead and move this to over here. New friends, where does it? I mean, it makes a lot more sense to start off with networking online. It's almost weird if you were to start off with the like public intention of, hey, let's be friends. But it's the equivalent of what was it? The how Chris Williamson mentioned that running groups today are dating in disguise, in the sense that people get there to meet people, but the thing they're doing is to look for people who are showing up regularly, so that the networking effect, the connection goes builds over time. So lesson, show up regularly. Why would that not work? What? Where's my text? Password, configuration, sound, history? No result? What are you talking about? I mean, it makes a lot more sense. Why would I not get this transcript? Oh, okay. You can see this. Yeah. What? Well, this feels like a. I mean, if we end up with like 3 minutes left and we're like, we're not making any sense or progress here. No, 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 not that one. No, no, no. You always use the Yeti. Come on, get out of here. Modes is default. Okay. I'm not quite sure how to think about this, to be honest. Let's go ahead and try this one more time and see if it works better. No, it doesn't. Why doesn't that work? Where is my text? Where is my text? Is writing text now? Vocabulary? Sure, okay. Modes. Okay. try this. Let's try this. Ah, we got it to work. Okay, we're back. No result. That's really annoying. Okay, fine. We are 4 minutes in. Final check to see if this works. Ah, wonderful. Okay. I mean, you have to start off with networking and having a lot of surface level touch points. And then over time, you build an idea or an image of a person. And you see more and more that, oh, I can resonate with this guy or this person on this topic, and oh, they are struggling with this, I can help out with that, and you have a relationship forming from that, and then from there, friends. But it sounds weird to start off with the approach of let's be friends. My tea is getting cold. You like your own one? Wow, okay, so this took a lot of time. Well, okay, granted, sure, fine. It was it's 1 minute and 30 before I need to get this going. So let's just she's today's progress bar, right? And just boom, boom, boom. Wonderful, check, check. I kind of want to read these ones, but it's not feasible. We gotta limit ourselves. I've lost track of how much I've done. Okay. Let's see what happened here. Profile. And we are green today. Perfect. With 30 minutes to go. Again, if you watched this, I have no clue why you did, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do not take the privilege of your attention lightly. Gotta love that. Until next time, we are only going to get better as this progresses. Let's see if we can do full screen. There you go. Have a good one.